Technique what Americans use is originally Indian technique. Get married to one boy, get in-laws free. And whatever comes free is always problematic. See? Tad brahmahamiti jnatva brahma sampadyate dhruvam nirvikalpam anantacha hetu drishtanta varjitam aprameyam anadincha yajnatva muchyate buddha na nirodho na cha utpatti na baddho na cha sadakaha na mumukshur na vai muktaha tesha paramarthata. This knowledge is such simple, friends. You don't have to carry any burden on your head. The more you become aware and live in this awareness, you are leading the spiritual life. Don't imagine you will go to some heaven and then all the damsels will come there and then garland you. This has no meaning. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. When we learn riding a bicycle, and once we learn how to balance, thereafter we never forget it. Now what is the reason? The reason is we don't learn riding a bicycle either by the sense organs or by the organs of action or by the mind or by the intellect. All the four factors are not involved. And therefore, that which is learned through the mind is likely to be forgotten. That which is experienced through the sense organs is likely to be lost. But when it comes to learning the balancing, none of these are involved and therefore we never forget. If this example is clear, in the same manner, when we discover our essential self as we have tried in the last two verses, Svarena sandhait yogam aswaram bhavayet param asvarena anubhavena bhavo va bhava ishyate. Tadeva nishkalam brahma nirvikalpam niranjanam tad brahmahamiti jnatva brahma sampadyate dhruvam. This recognition of one's essential nature is not through the sense organs, is not through the mind, is not through the intellect. Because the self being attributeless, the five sense organs are important. The self being without any emotional chaos, therefore mind is non-functional. The self being not a concept, therefore the intellect cannot function. Therefore, tad brahmahamiti jnatva brahma sampadyate dhruvam. Dhruvam is once for all. It is not sometime I feel I am Brahman, but next time I feel I am doubt very much. Really I am Brahman? In Jacksonville, US, one person came for my lectures, a typical South Indian person with the, you will see, here we lead a normal life. But in this outside country, particularly USA, they want to be too much Indian. Therefore, immediately when they have to go to temple, we go straight away with the pant shirt, doesn't matter. But there, if they have to go, they will put on the complete makeup, the lungi and then angavastra and then various signs and the dish antenna, it's everything. So, a dish antenna came for the satsang. And after the lecture was over, he said, Swamiji, like you, I am also Brahman, but I have got one doubt. What is the doubt? How long will I remain Brahman? I said, as long as you are sleeping, you are Brahman. The moment you wake up, you are not. Because in the sleep, there is no I. Where there is no I, there is the reality. Therefore, there is no doubt about something in our life. That doubtless experience is Brahman. Now find out, what is that about which we have no doubt? There is only one thing about which we have no doubt. And that one thing is our presence. I am not talking about presence of mind. Our presence. Whether I is or is not, we don't have doubt about it. And therefore we don't go and ask anybody, excuse me, will you please tell me whether I am there or not? No, not only you are a fool also. This question can never arise in our mind. This doubtless experience is abiding in the truth. Therefore, nirvikalpam anantancha hetu drishtanta varjitam. Nirvikalpam, there is no vikalpa. Vikalpa is option. Whether I am intelligent or not, vikalpa. Whether I am beautiful or not, vikalpa. Whether I am rich or not, vikalpa. But whether I am or not, there is no vikalpa. See, friends. Such a simple thing it is, that about which we have no questions, no doubt, no inquiry, that is the truth. Nirvikalpam. And this experience is anantam, unending. It is not sometime I feel I am, sometime I don't feel I am. It is not. So this nirvikalpam anantam experience, see, when the knowledge is gathered through thoughts or mind, then the vikalpas happen. For example, this is a book and Avadhuta Upanishad. Is it Avadhuta Upanishad or Amrut-Bindu Upanishad? Vikalpa. See? Second example of vikalpa. What is on my palm? A book. Now, book is not there. So, this book is recognized in two ways. As is and is not. So, anything which is known through the agency of mind has this option. Whether it is or it is not. But when it comes to our own presence, this does not fall in the purview of any option. Therefore, even if we don't want, we are Brahman. Even if we don't recognize, we are. Nirvikalpam anantam cha. And hetu drishtanta varjitam. Hetu is the cause. There is no cause for our being. It is a causeless existence. See? Cause and effect. they fall in the purview of intellect. Therefore, all intellectuals are intelligently miserable, all the time wasting their time in establishing the cause. But why does he become angry? Then you keep on searching and suffering. On the contrary, remove these two words from your dictionary, you will be happiest in life. Which are the two words? Why and how. What we do is we are whiling away our life by howling at the life. See? Remove these two words, why and how. Your question will be, but why? And then how? The only way to go beyond cause and effect is to transcend intellect. See, transcending the intellect is achieved intelligently by accepting the world as it is. This is the way. And we all do that, it's not we don't do it. For example, when our hand gets burnt as a child, we touch something hot or fire or a flame, we get burnt. Thereafter, do we ever ask a question, why the fire is hot? We never ask a question. Then thereafter what we do? We relate ourselves with the fire, knowing well that the fire is hot. See, friends, now apply the same principle in life. See? Why the politicians are corrupt? Remove the why. Politicians are corrupt. Now decide how to deal with them. So if you want to get your work done, work below the table. Get your work done. See, friends, once this principle we understand, we go beyond cause and effect. And most of us are miserable only because, why? Because the sky is too high. See, friends, therefore, hetu drishtanta varjitam, there is no cause. And this is what everywhere Upanishad Gita tells us. Na jayate mriyate va vipaschit, nayam bhutva abhavita va na bhuyaha, ajo nityaha shashvatoyam puranaha, na hanyate hanyamane sharire. Na jayate, that which is not born, how can it die? That means it is a perennial existence, goes beyond the beginning and end. Hetu drishtanta varjitam. Therefore, how do we get beyond this hetu, beyond the cause? We are responsible for creating cause and effect. How we are responsible? When something happens, that happening is labeled by us as an effect. When we call something as an effect, it is our responsibility to find out the cause. See? On the contrary, if we take the event as an event and sort it out, you are happy. See, friends. Therefore, this is one technique. Second technique, Bhagavad Gita tells us at the end. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. Surrender yourself to the divine will. When we surrender to the divine will, we don't ask question why. See? Therefore, hetu varjitam. Now, our presence is not because of, but because of the presence, everything is. See, friends. Therefore, Nirvikalpam anandam cha hetu drishtanta varjitam. Drishtanta is giving an example. See, you are most beautiful like the face of the moon. Why couldn't find out something else? No, because the same way there are many spots here and there, therefore, like the moon. See. You know, this topic comes in our Puranas in story form. Manu and Shatarupa, they did lot of tapasya. Bhagwan Narayana appeared. Yes, what do you want? Like any dumb couple, they ask, we want a son. See? If I were there, I would have told Manu, don't ask for a son, ask for a daughter. You know? We have recently celebrated Women's Day. So, he said, I want a son like you. Narayana says, excuse me, there is none like me. Drishtanta varjita. Infinite is the only one which is unlike anything. And then what did Lord said, okay, I will be born to you as your son. Now what we understand is different, and what we should understand is different. So the truth is that which is beyond cause and effect, which is unlike anything, and then we say, can you please explain how the God is like? Is he like a pakoda? No. Maybe like a dhokla? No. Like a idli? No. Because what we can think is only in the purview of our limited knowledge. See, therefore, nirvikalpam anantam cha hetu drishtanta varjitam. Then aprameyam, next one, aprameyam. Prameya is an object of knowledge. Aprameyam, which can never be objectified. And it is here most of the seekers get completely clean bowled. See, it is something like, many times, once one lady wrote a letter to our Swamiji, Swamiji, when will I come to know my own self? So Swamiji wrote her back. A dog was trying to bite his own tail and went in circles and fell down. Now that lady came to me. Swamiji, I don't know what Swamiji writes, I am asking about realization and he wrote me a dog's tail. I said, it is his mistake that he wrote you. If I tell her it is her mistake, she will bounce on me, isn't it? I have to protect myself. See, I was asking about God realization. Why should he write me like this thing? I said, Mama, as a dog tries to bite his own tail but never succeeds and falls down, in the same manner, the more you struggle to objectify the self, the more you will be miserable in your life. This is what we all do. See? And therefore, when we sit for meditation, we start, and then they tell us, nasagram drishti, and then something happens, and all our pranas, we pull them compulsorily, and then something happens here, and then we start feeling something, oh, that is gone, God, come and gone. God has gone, but left the footprints in the form of pain. It's such a headache, Swamiji, what should I do? See, this is the first experience of God. So painful. Be careful. Now, why this happens? Because we are objectifying. Don't objectify. Because aprameya, it is not an object of knowledge. See how we have become involved in this objectification. When we go to the jeweler, we ask a question. Hey, there is gold in this ornament, is it not? But what is the truth? The gold is not in the ornament. The ornament is in the gold. But we are so obsessed with the name and the form that we imagine ornament is the reality and gold is the content. But what is the truth? Gold is the reality, and the name and the form and the utility of that ornament is superimposed on that gold. Therefore, hetu drishtanta varjitam aprameyam. It cannot be an object of knowledge. Therefore, all the spiritual practice, meditation is give up objectification. Objectification begins when we become meditator. See, till such time, I want to sleep, I want to sleep. Sleep will never begin. When the sleep begins, doesn't matter whether it is AMA or UMA. The sleep begins. Because I is not there. Exactly the same way, aprameyam. When we become somebody, we want to see God. And when we are not there, God remains. Like Kabir ji says, जब मैं था तब हरि नहीं, जब हरि है तब मैं नहीं. Both cannot simultaneously exist. See? But both can be existing simultaneously in imagination. How? Man and husband cannot simultaneously exist. What do you mean? Man is an embodiment of bliss. And husband is an embodiment of blisters. Now, how can the same be bliss as well as blister? Then it can be superimposed. How superimposed? When the wife comes, immediately the man plays the role of husband. Shall I get you a cup of tea? Would you like to have biscuits? No, you don't have to wake up early morning. I'll do everything. Because the whole day you work and you are Suryavamshi, I know. Continue. After going out, pata nahi kahan se tapke sar. See? So either there is absolute reality or there is no reality. And absolute is that which can never be absent. Therefore, aprameyam. Give up this objectivity from the knowledge. Objectivity from the knowledge is given up when the I is given up. I am doing meditation, this must disappear. See, friends. Then, anadincha. And this experience, be very attentive. This experience is not created. Please remember, na karmana na prajaya dhanena. If the truth is recognized as a result of meditation, then when the meditation is over, the truth will get evaporated. Anadim. It is not a result of an action of meditation. It is only a recognition. See, friends, that which is already there, but it was not recognized, therefore it was not experienced. Recognition does not create anything. Recognition is always of that which is already existing. Therefore, aprameyam anadincha yajñatva muchyate buddhaha. Buddhaha, the wise one, having recognized this as one's essential self, muchyate, he is once for all liberated. Liberation happens to him. See? Now, before we go to the next verse, please get this complete concept and then drop the concept and be yourself. We all have various standpoints in our experiences of life. First standpoint is the standpoint of relational existence. In the relational existence, it is I versus you. See, in grammar, there are three persons. First person singular, second person singular and plural, and third person singular and plural. The second person and third person, they exist only if there is a first person. Next, he is a third person. She is a third person, singular. They are third person, plural. Thou, second person, singular. You, second person, plural. So the plural and singular of the third person continues to be third person. The singular and plural of the second person continues to be second person. But when it comes to the first person, I, and you make a plural of I, it means we. We dissolves the barrier of I versus you. Technically speaking, first person singular does not have plural because it includes everything. See, friends. Therefore, what we do in one standpoint, I versus you, husband versus wife, in-law versus outlaw. Samsara will never end. The second standpoint is I, the individual, versus the totality called as God. So when I versus you is there, in that experience, there is competition, there is success, there is failure, there is a comparison, there is friend, there is enemy, there is achievement. So many things are happening. But when I relate myself to the God, in this relation, in this standpoint, there is no competition of the devotee with the Lord. Then what is the relationship? Only surrender and submission. The I surrenders and submits to the divine will. The ocean can become a wave. A wave can never become an ocean. See? So when the individual I surrenders to the God's will, this is the second standpoint wherein there is no problem. Jo thari rai, so mari rai. O Lord, thy will be done, thy will be done. Second standpoint. Third standpoint, the God is looking at his own creation. See? How the God is looking at his own creation? As you people look at your own children. How do you look at your own children? Your child is a Dumbo, good for nothing, but the mother sees the beauty and wisdom in the child. See? The child is a rogue, but the mother sees, he is very naughty. In that naughty there is love. See? This is the third standpoint. And the fourth standpoint is, from the absolute standpoint, there is no place for any relational existence. Spiritual journey is this journey. From the relative, I versus you, we take the second step, I versus the Lord. We come to the third step. As the Lord looks at his creation, we have a totally different vision. Name dveshosti na priyaha. All the great masters live in this vision. For them, there is nobody as theirs, and for them, there is nobody as not theirs. They are all inclusive. And when one starts living this, then we graduate and migrate in the absolute standpoint. And what is that absolute standpoint? This is now said in the 10th mantra. Na nirodho na cha utpattihi, na baddho na cha sadhakaha, na mumukshur na vaimuktaha, ittesha paramarthata. This is the ultimate vision. Ittesha paramarthata, the ultimate vision. What is the ultimate vision? Na nirodho na cha utpatti. Nothing is ever created and nothing is ever destroyed. Second, na baddho na cha sadhakaha. Nobody is ever bound and nobody has ever attempted for realization. Third, na mumukshuhu na vaimuktaha. Nobody is seeking liberation and nobody is liberated. See? Oh God, so all this spiritual practice having done, we come to this, yes. In one of his writings, a great saint who was the guru of Shivaji Maharaj, Samartha Ramdas Swami, he writes in one of his writings, having crossed the river of transmigration, Bhavanadi, I wanted to thank my Guru, so I paused and looked behind for my Guru, that he helped me crossing the river of transmigration, and lo, I found no Guru, and not only no Guru, no river. I have reached nowhere. Where I was, there I was. Is it not? When we wake up from the sleep, the accident has taken place in Switzerland, in the dream. And when we wake up, where that Switzerland has gone. This is the ultimate vision, friends. There is nothing that can be added to the infinite. There is nothing that can be taken away from the infinite. To understand this experience, take one or two examples. This example I must have given you, but this context is different. When I was somewhere in Hawaii with my friend in a Chinese restaurant, so he was ordering, because money I don't spend. Why should I spend? I don't have. So he was ordering all the things, and I was standing with my camera near the aquarium. And I took some pictures and some videos. So he came, he said, Swamiji, what are you looking at? I said, guess. So not really. You must be looking at beautiful fish. I said, no. Then the snake type fish. I said, no. Then maybe the decoration inside the aquarium. I said, no. Maybe the massive size of this aquarium. I said, no. Then I said, you find out? I don't know. I said, okay, I'll tell you. I'm looking at the water. Oh God, how can you have such funny things? Nobody looks at the water when somebody is looking at an aquarium. I said, I'm, manufacturer's defect. What can I do? It is like this. Then I asked him, now you tell me, what I was trying to understand or experience, what must be the experience of the water in the aquarium? When the fish moves, will the water get tickly? If a small cockroach moves on your helipad, our Madhya Pradesh is nothing less than helipad, is it not? So, there is your banyan and below helipad and in between a cockroach is moving. What will be the fun for the cockroach? So my understanding is what must be the experience of the water when the fish moves. This is what I am struggling. Second thing, when we add few more fish to the water, does it become a load for the water? Think. And when we remove all the fish from the water, is it a loss for the water? See, friends, I said contemplate on this. I had received one beautiful email and there were many bridges. And one bridge was unique bridge and there was a question. The bridge was such that below there is normal road and on that there was a bridge. And through that bridge one river was flowing. A huge river, it was flowing through that bridge, the upper bridge. Lower bridge was for the thing. And from that water bridge, from where the river was flowing, when the ship goes, so the question is, while designing the bridge, what are the parameters they have taken into consideration regarding the load? Are they taking into consideration the weight of the water plus the weight of the ship that will go on that? That was the question. So I wrote to my friend whosoever sent me, I said no, they will have only the criteria of weight of the water, not of the ship. He said, you are perfectly right, but why? I said, Archimedes. When the ship will go, that much weight will be displaced and weight will go nowhere. Exactly the same way, from the absolute standpoint, relativity has no existence. If there is no relativity, who is liberated and who is born and who is destroyed? See, friends, from the absolute standpoint, north, east, west, south have no place in the space. Think. From the water standpoint, there is no ocean, no